President of the United States, along with many others, will be in Selma, Alabama this weekend for a very important commemoration, 50 years. It's a three-day commemoration of 50 years since the historic Selma March. Why don't you listen to the President this morning? This is an interview with Joe Madison on the radio, where he's talking about the responsibility of the generation that came after Selma to advance the civil rights movement.
And those who follow then had a responsibility to grab the torch and move it forward. And I think that the generation that has followed that civil rights generation has in many ways made great strides, in part just by walking through the doors of opportunity that those giants helped to open up. But I also think that we all recognize that there continue to be challenges that require not just individuals living well and raising good kids, but requires collective action and mobilization.
Talking generally there, but he's part of that generation. He's part of our history. He's our first African-American president. And as we know, this issue has, the politics of Barack Obama have become part of our race discussion. Look at our new poll, our latest poll out today, of race relations under President Obama. This is a poll of all Americans. Are they better? 15% now say this. In May 2009, 32% say that. Are they worse? Nearly 4 in 10 Americans think race relations have gotten worse during the administration of our first African-American president. 45% say about the same. What do you make of that?
I think it's really hard to understand what that means, and it's hard to understand why people answered it that way. So much of this comes at a time of this economic upheaval with the 2008 recession, and of the real political polarization, the clash between Obama and the Republicans. And it's hard to say who's being blamed for it and who is to blame for it. Of course, overlapping this time with Ferguson, Missouri, and everything that's happened in New York, it's going to take history, really, to tell what the legacy of the first black presidency is in the United States. But for Obama, this comes at a really complex time where Ferguson really gets under his skin. It's hard to deal with, and where the message he's trying to send to black Americans, especially in impoverished places in the South, is vote, engage, do stuff, but not to sort of blame the victim at the same time.
How can it be, Olivia, if you look at the last several presidential elections, look at the non-white vote for the Republican Party, George W. Bush, to his credit, is going to be there in Selma. Senator Tim Scott, the first African-American Republican since Reconstruction, will be there in Selma. Politico says about 24 House and Senate Republicans have agreed to be there in Selma. Not one member of the Republican leadership.
Yeah, we were talking about questions of judgment before. I think this is another question of judgment. I think it's really unfortunate that there's no one from the House Republican leadership who's going to be at this, as far as we know today, who's going to be at this event. But I think it reflects some of the polarization that Margaret talked about a little bit earlier. I don't know how friendly a crowd this would be.
How hard can it be? Number one, it should be important to you in your heart and in your soul. Number two, if it isn't, and it should be, how hard is it to take 8, 10, 12 hours and send 1 or 2 high-level people to just be part of something, to send a signal? Why is that so hard?
Why not send George W. Bush and Tim Scott, as you pointed out? Why not send 2 people who are high-profile figures of the Republican Party down there? They're going, so the party's not going to be unrepresented.
They could be better representative, and I think it's a bad call.
They could do a better job. They say they're spending all of their week saying Secretary Clinton could have done a better job, and she could have. So could have you, ladies and gentlemen of the House Republican leadership.